In 2018, a man was heading home in the middle of the night from a pub in Vásárosnaményi to Gergely-Ugornya, two villages found at the northeastern part of Hungary. Walking through the local forest at 3 a.m. toward the Tisza Bridge, he reached the road and stepped onto a sidewalk, with a railing running alongside the road. The sidewalk gradually ran below road level, and he began to hear a quiet whimper beyond the barrier. Thinking there might be an injured dog behind the guardrail, the man, a big animal lover, stepped over the barrier and lit the light on his mobile phone. He described what he saw in the following words. Quote, "What I saw in the light was anything but a dog. At first I thought it was a big black furry dog curled up on its hind legs and saw its pointed ears. On my approach, the thing turned around, and I saw its eyes were blue and astonishingly intelligent. It leapt up on its two hind legs and howled. My heart skipped a beat, and I took off running. I didn't stop until a car came towards me." Close quote. Every November, the county news portal Son encourages its readers to send in their ghost stories. A reader submitted the following account in November 2018, and if the story had stopped there, I wouldn't have made this video. However, after Son posted the above story, they received several letters from readers who claimed to have seen similar creatures. For example, one evening in March 2018, a car carrying two passengers broke down between Torpa and Városnamény. The driver, trying to repair the vehicle, was unsuccessful when he heard a noise from the trees. He shined his torch on the car, and what happened next is described in the following words. Quote, "I saw a strange figure. I thought it was an oversized dog, but it looked like a tiger from a nature film when it moved. I was frightened and jumped into the car when it looked at me. He stepped out of the trees, sniffing the air as he stood on his hind legs like a bear watching its prey. Suddenly, I heard the sound of an engine. A big tractor was coming. The animal ran back into the forest. Half an hour later, the tow truck arrived and towed the car away." Close quote. In another letter, a mother reports that her 12-year-old son saw a 2-meter-high furry creature running across the road between the Ilona farm in Nyíregyháza and the housing estate behind Tesco, somewhere around here. The creature had long legs and a stocky upper body. In 2020, Son received a letter from a hunter from Újkenéz who reported that locals had complained that some stray dog was depredating the local poultry flock. According to the witness's description, the animal was huge. The hunter therefore began to scour the area to get rid of the animal. As it was getting dark and the hunter still had no sign of the animal, he started walking back home, when suddenly the animal jumped out in front of him. The hunter was about to shoot, but the animal suddenly stood up on two legs, ripped the gun out of the hunter's hand, broke it in two, and chased the hunter. The hunter described the creature as having grayish-blue fur, very pointed ears, and a head similar to a baboon. Now, as far as this story is true, what conclusions can we draw about these creatures? Well, the creature knew what the hunter was doing in the area. The creature had probably been watching the hunter for some time while the hunter remained oblivious to his stalker. It also knew what the rifle was for, but did not hunt the hunter. It only scared him a little, presumably to discourage the hunter from trying to hunt him down again. So we can deduce that these creatures are intelligent, with senses far superior to humans, and are excellent at hiding. We can also assume that they want nothing from us and want to avoid us. This could help explain why these creatures are virtually unknown to us. All told, Son has received 7 letters from witnesses who claim to have seen werewolves. These occurred in the villages of Torpa, Gergely-Ugornya, Ilk, Napkor, Nyíregyháza, and Újkenéz, and their vicinity. So, these all happened relatively close to each other, but of course, it is also possible that due to the regional nature of Son, they only received reports from the northeast of Hungary. It is possible that these creatures could be found in several places in the country. But are the stories on Son true? Well, UFO researcher Laszlo Miskolci, although he didn't believe in them himself, said that he and some of his friends once went to see the sites of the sightings. And he said that the sites looked just as they were described in the letters published on Son. I have heard of one sighting from Hungary that did not appear on Son, but that was from the other side of the country, in the Trans-Danubian region. As for non-Hungarian sightings, I've talked to about a dozen people, mostly from the US, who have seen werewolves. The international cryptid community calls these creatures dogmen, and you can find hundreds of eyewitness accounts on the internet if you know where to look. So I would say there is a realistic chance that the reports on the site are authentic, but of course I can't be sure. As always, if you have any particular stories or just want to ask questions, write to the email address in the description.